Hi guys, this is Shakti from Around the Wicket, where we not only speak about the game, but we try to learn more about the humans behind our sport. And I'm extremely excited of having our guest here on Around the Wicket today. He is one of my current favorite cricketers. I'm pretty sure many share the same sentiment. His enthusiasm on and off the pitch is infectious. His attitude is second to none. And last year, his performances have been peerless as well. Thank you to Dean Kino from Kino Consulting for organizing this chat. Marnus Labuschagne, Australian cricketer. Thank you so much for joining me on Around the Wicket.
No, it's my pleasure, mate. I hope you're doing well, and it's nice to be here.
I sure am. Cricket Australia currently has set out their schedule for this season if things go to plan. How are your preps coming along during this time in Brisbane?
Yeah, look, we're very lucky in Brisbane that we've got beautiful weather all year round. We're on turf wickets, all year round, so we're able to continue our training, and we've been going about it, very well here in Brisbane. So that's very exciting for us. So I mean, we're ready for hopefully when international cricket kicks off, we can be hit the ground running.
Have been seeing you on Instagram posting some videos on your backyard with the dog and your friends. Things going well there as well. You haven't actually posted anything recently. Training.
Yeah, I've been a bit quiet. I've been a bit quiet on the Instagram lately. But yeah, look, it's been nice to spend a bit of time at home, and like I said, there's so much fun you can have in and around home. So it's been nice to just enjoy, mucking around in the backyard and coming up with some different games and some different fun stuff to do during this time.
Awesome, Marnus. Now, it's known that you were born in South Africa. You came to Australia when you were about 9 or 10. Do you remember any of those times with your move to Australia?
Yeah, absolutely. Growing up in South Africa, I was obviously, I was 10, so I kind of had a very good knowledge of cricket at that age. I loved cricket from a very young age, so I was playing cricket from when I was about 10, from when I was about 3. So when I was 10, I was well on my way of loving, which was great. So I mean that was probably the first part, and then when we moved over to Australia when I was 11, I probably fell in love with the game even more. Just coming to Australia and just playing cricket every spare minute I had.
Coming through the system in Brisbane, everyone knew that you had the talent, the skill, and ability to succeed and go to higher honours. But there was a period of time where some say that you didn't achieve your full potential. You did not convert your starts. What do you put it down to, especially for any young cricketer who might be going through a similar period?
I think as a young cricketer, I probably put a lot of pressure on myself as a young sort of junior up and coming player, that I had to make runs, that I had to do really well, and I probably got a little bit too just obsessive about being perfect, being the perfect batter, the perfect player. So I think probably in the last couple of years, I've been able to figure out that really happy medium between being a very good run scorer, scoring a lot of runs, and trying to make that the focus rather than trying to be a really perfect player.
One of the more important people that have played a role in terms of your development as a cricketer is your mentor, Neil DaCosta. And in one interview, Neil, states his first meeting with you. And he said, in his words, "I got a meeting with a tennis coach, so can you sit there and shut up?" And you followed this up by taking over the meeting. He asked after, "What the bleep was that?" And you replied, "Well, I thought he wanted my opinion." Neil then goes, "No one wanted your opinion," to which you started laughing and obviously gave Neil a cuddle. A little snapshot of your relationship with Neil. Tell us how important Neil has been, and what your relationship has been till date with him.
That's pretty much exactly how it went. I mean, our relationship has been massive. He's been a real sounding board over the years, going through the ups and downs of first class cricket. Struggling, and he's been there. We've been working things out along the way, trying to find ways to continue to get better. So it's been very helpful to have someone like Neil there the whole time. Our relationship is probably more than a that a player coach. We're friends. We get along, and it's it's really important for me. He's been a really big part of my success. So it's nice to have him on board, and it's nice to have someone there that's been there since for the last 7 years, since I was about 19. Yeah.
Excellent. You made your test debut against Pakistan not too long ago, a couple of years ago. You received your baggy green from Mr. Cricket himself, Mike Hussey. Some may say that he's very similar to what you are like. You guys are sure with your techniques on the pitch, and off the pitch, you both are cricket nuffies. Tell us about that moment receiving your cap from someone who's so highly regarded in Australian cricket.
Yeah, it was a very special moment. I was very excited. Getting Michael Hussey, which is someone that a lot of people have said over the years that I'm very similar to. Both that love and passion for the game. So it was really special getting my cap from him, and I was lucky enough to have my friends and my family all there. My friends actually came from England for one day to see the first day of the test, and then flew back the next day. So so that was really special to have all those people there for that occasion. And it's almost a relief once you first get it, because you're like, oh geez, I've actually got baggy green now. And then the realization is, well, I need to actually make this my own now. I need to actually become a mainstayer in this side, and I need to perform, because when you have that baggy green on, you're, as everyone would know, that you're watched like a hawk, and people are looking for, obviously loving your successes, but also waiting for the moment when you fail.
Yeah. And first test obviously didn't go according to plan, as you may have expected. But in the second test, you actually got some wickets, you got some runs. But did you feel at that period that you were still trying to, find your feet, or were you so confident with your abilities that you knew that you belonged in that arena?
I think probably that fourth innings I had in Abu Dhabi definitely gave me a little bit of confidence that I belong at that level. But it certainly didn't, silence all the doubt that still goes in your mind. I only made 42 in that second innings. I bowled quite well on that tour. So, that was the positive. In terms of my batting, I was definitely not a mainstay, and I didn't lock or seal that position by no means.
Yep.
So, for me, when I did get another opportunity against Sri Lanka and India, once again, I probably didn't lock that position down. I didn't seal that position. And, once again, I found myself on the outer coming into the Ashes.
2019, you joined Glamorgan County Cricket, prolific season with them. Charlie Humphrey, who's one of your teammates, said that, he's not seen anyone improve at your rate, apart from obviously the great Steve Smith. What was it about that period of time that made you so prolific? Scored 3 centuries in the first 4 matches and 5 in 10 for them.
Yeah, look, I don't know. I think I love learning about the game. I love being challenged within the game, and I think Matt Maynard did that. He instilled a lot of confidence in me, really trusted the way I thought about the game, and gave me a lot of confidence in my own ability. And then, once I did have success with that, and I knew I had the trust from the coach and the players, I was really able to run with that momentum. And I think that was probably the start of it, where it really gave me the trust and the confidence that I can do this. And I think it the benefit of having a coach that was a really great example of a coach that had a lot of belief in you, that trusted the way I was thinking about the game and wanted to approach the game, and gave me full reign to execute and go, look, if you fail, I'm still trusting and believing in you, and if you do well, I'm here. So that was really beneficial. And then I was able to use that momentum and the form that I had coming into the Ashes.
Yeah, exactly. And leading up to the Ashes, obviously, that test match at Lord's, coming in as the first concussion substitute for Steve Smith, who was felled by Jofra Archer. You yourself received a blow from Archer at second ball. What were the thoughts at that time in your head? And, was that still, or is that still one of your more important innings?
Yeah, I think that will go down as one of probably my most important innings, because I think Look, who would have known if that didn't happen, where I would have got my opportunity and how I would have found my way into that side. But, all I do know is that, that innings probably changed a few people's minds about me and the way about my game. So I think, looking back on that, that innings was still one of the most special innings that I had. One, because I got to play at Lords in a test match, which is, a dream come true as a kid growing up. That's what you dream of, playing at Lords. Coming out in the situation, day 5, we need to bat for a draw. We need to draw the game, stay ahead in the series. Yeah, so I think that was a very important innings, and it also gave me, once again, that belief that I can do it at this level.
Yep.
And the conditions, as hard as they were at Lords and at Headingley, I was able to find a way to score runs, and I think that's what instills you with so much confidence.
Now, fast forward that another year, you were the leading run scorer in Test cricket last summer. You capped it off this season as well. You started off really well with a double century against New Zealand. What has been the biggest takeaway points for yourself going through a purple patch like this?
I think one thing I was able to do really well this year was make sure that I really stayed firm on my process and trusted the way I was playing the game. That I didn't get ahead of myself or think that, runs were coming easily, which is something that can very naturally happen when you're batting really well.
Yep.
All of a sudden you can find yourself nicking a few more balls because you're seeing it so well and you just want to hit the ball. So I thought I stuck to the process of my batting very well for this summer. And that's something that I'm definitely taking away, not taking any runs for granted is one of the keys, I think, to, you look at the way Steve goes about the game and Virat and those guys. And I think that's what really, shows those guys' hunger for runs is their consistency to keep coming back each game.
The little master himself, Sachin Tendulkar, has said that, you reminded him of himself, of all the current players, Or what does it make you feel like, listening to greatness like him, speak about you in such high regard?
Yeah, very honoured. I mean, for Sachin Tendulkar to come out and say that, it was very special, and I was very humbled by that. For a player of his calibre to obviously view or see a little bit of himself in me, definitely makes you feel good, that's for sure. But for me, it's just about staying grounded and making sure that I'm working as hard as I can each day to be better and to continue to learn about the game, invest in the game, and trying to make sure that I'm, the best player I can be.
And talking about grounding and away from cricket, you've mentioned that faith plays a huge part in you. Having a balanced lifestyle, also instilling a lot of confidence and perspective. How important is faith for you in terms of what success you've had on the field and off the pitch?
Yeah, I think exactly what you just said then. It gives you a great perspective. Although I'm passionate, I love the game of cricket, but it isn't everything. And the reason we play cricket, isn't just for sort of those. Yeah, it's a bigger picture, and I think us as players realise that. We need to realise that it's a bigger picture. We're role models out there. People are looking up to us, and and I think faith really provides a really good, provides a really good base for that. I think, although I love the game a lot, it's not the be all and end all, and there's a lot of things that especially in our society right now, that we are struggling with, and we need to be good role models out there.
At the end of the season, India is coming for Test series if things go well. What are you looking forward to most? Coming up against India in a very important Test series as well for both countries.
Oh, the challenge! I love the battle. I think one thing in the one series I had got to play. The one-day series just gone. I love the intensity India bring to the game, and more importantly, Virat. The intensity he brings to the contest. I love that, and I think that's what you look forward to. You look forward to that tough contest, that real two teams going at it, and two teams two of the best teams in the world fighting it out to be the number one test team. And I think for me, that's what I'm looking forward to, that battle, that excitement to get out in the middle. And, hopefully it's in front of crowd. That's probably the icing on the cake. In the situation we're in now, if we can have a crowd to fuel some of that energy and passion, it's going to be a great series.
And especially when India come down to Australia, there's always a big crowd. So fingers crossed, things can resume back to normal. In terms of social distancing, would it be difficult, not high-fiving or patting someone on the back when the team's succeeding?
Yeah, look, I don't know about the rules and regulations around that once we step onto the field. I know there's some stuff around saliva, putting spit on your hands or on the ball. In terms of, patting each other on the back or staying 1.5 meters away, I don't know if that is within the rules, and I don't think so. From the games that I've watched so far, it doesn't seem that is the case. But I think as long as we're conscious as players to make sure we're staying hygienic and we're making sure as players we do realise the seriousnness of coronavirus and making sure that we do our part to make sure that we stop the spread.
And on a personal note, Marnus, moving forward with the Australian team, what's some of your near-term goals?
Look, not a big goal setter myself, but I definitely know as the Australian team, we want to be the best test team in the world and we want to win the test championship. They're things that we've spoken about. And, our one-day cricket, we really want to improve in our one-day cricket. We want to become very dominant in our one-day cricket, just like we are in T20 cricket. We want to become dominant in that format. And, for me, it's just playing my role there in that middle order, batting at 4, just making sure that I understand, how I can contribute for Australia to win games. That's my role. I want us to win as many games as we can, and I want to be helping win games. That's sort of what I want to bound my success on.
All the best and congratulations with all the success that you've had currently. I've just got about 9 rapid-fire questions, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So who is the cricketer that you looked up to growing up?
Jacques Kallis. Absolutely loved him. Loved the way he went about the game.
Yep, superstar, possibly the greatest cricketer that has ever played the game. Who is the toughest bowler you have faced till date?
Toughest bowler. Toughest bowler is a tough question. I'm probably going to go with the toughest spell I faced, and that was Ben Stokes at Headingley. His 11-over spell at Headingley. That was one of the toughest spells I faced as a spell of bowling.
Number 3, who is the most annoying teammate? Now, I've asked a couple of your teammates. They put your name forward, but who is your most annoying teammate?
Look, you're probably not putting yourself up, but, someone like Travis Head, me and Travis get along really well, and there's always a lot of banter and a bit of niggling going on there. Tim Payne's really a bit, cagey, annoying, He's always trying to, get on top of me, and we're always sort of going back and forth. So, probably those 2.
If you had to invite 3 people over for dinner, who would they be?
3 people? Like, is this ever?
Anyone and ever, yeah.
Probably Michael Jordan. Roger Federer. And
anyone from cricket?
I'm probably going to go Jacques Kallis because I've had dinner with Steve a fair bit, so we hung out a fair bit. So that's a reality. So probably those 3.
Michael Jordan, Jacques Kallis, and Roger Federer. Okay, number 6. What would you rate as your most favorite innings, most enjoyable innings?
Once again, let's get left field again. Probably my 78 at Headingley. In the circumstances, losing the toss, overcast conditions. I think we ended up getting bowled out for about 190. and I think I ended up getting 76 or 78. That was probably one of my best innings I've played, and once again, it was one of those innings that really gave you confidence when you walked away from that innings to say that, you know, you can play at this level.
In terms of IPL, firstly, would you like to play in the IPL? And secondly, if there was any team in the IPL that you wanted to play for, who would they be?
Yeah, IPL, definitely. I'd love to play in the IPL. I think, you know, that's everyone's dream. Not everyone's dream, sorry. It's everyone's dream to be a part of the IPL. I think it's the best competition, and the way that it's run is very good. Which team? Probably maybe RCB. You know, I've got to play a little bit with AB at the Brisbane Heat. You know, with the likes of Kohli and those guys. You know, I've followed RCB a little bit in as the time's gone by, but yeah, probably RCB.
Hopefully, in the next contract or next IPL auction, your name comes up. Describe yourself in one word.
Passionate, probably.
And last question is, if you have one message to any young kid taking up the game, what would that be?
One last message. I would just say, let the love of the game be the motivation for you to keep playing and keep enjoying the game. I think, you know, we never want to lose that enjoyment of the game. And, you know, if anyone loves the game, they're going to put everything they have, work as hard as they can to be as good as they can. So continue to love the game and enjoy the people you meet and the teams you get to play in.
Awesome. That sums us up. Marnus, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time and also enjoyed the conversation regarding your motivation, and, you know, all the best for the summer. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we get to see you play again. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much.
All the best.